you been able to do the last 2 days? I know they've had you kind of off to the side. What's the plan as far as like rehabbing you and getting you ready for camp?
Yeah, I mean, I've been meeting with the medical staff and kind of just getting my rehab protocol together, and I'm just really excited to get in and get in with the online coach, Coach Morgan, and get the playbook down. Do everything I can mentally to be ready when my time comes physically.
The Bears told us like right after you were drafted that the medical staff medically cleared you. But were you surprised that are going to slow play this process to get you ready for camp? Were you expecting to get some like actual on field work in when you got here for rookie camp?
I mean, I was just expecting to come in and do whatever I can to be ready to play when my time comes. Whatever I need to do, off the field to be ready when I get on the field.
You feel like you will, like day one of training camp? That's the goal, and are you optimistic about that?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see kind of how everything plays out. I'm gonna trust them and trust their guidance on this. I'm not a doctor, so I know how my body feels, and I know I'll communicate that with them, and we'll see. We'll see how as time goes on.
How does your body feel?
My body feels good. Feels good.
When was the surgery?
It was in October.
As you kind of have settled in here, obviously draft weekend was this realization that you were going to be a Chicago Bear. How has this felt the last several weeks of being here and actually being an employee of this building?
I mean, obviously it's been surreal. This is my team growing up. Obviously grew up in the area, so it's been amazing. And I'm just really excited I get to contribute to the culture and the history of my favorite team my favorite sports team in general. So yeah, I'm happy.
The process, I mean, obviously you're local. Most guys, when they're rookies, are going new places. You get to stay at home. Obviously, I'm sure you're at the team hotel the last couple of days, but are you able to be in Hinsdale?
Yeah. So my mom still lives in Hinsdale. My dad lives, in the city. So I kind of split time, and but I'm around. So I'm local. It's nice. I get home cooked meals, sleep in my bed. I got my PlayStation here. I got my my friends, my dog, whatever. So no, it's nice. It's nice to be home.
Are you focusing on any position in particular, or are you just kind of learning all the spots right now?
I'm learning everything. I want to be as versatile as possible. I want to be able to contribute wherever I can. I'm not set on one thing. I'm a football player. I'll play wherever you need me.
That being said, though, right now, where would you say you're most comfortable?
Honestly, anywhere. Like I said, I'm a football player. Offensive line. Obviously, there's different nuances, but you go out there and you block and you do your job, and that's it. And that's what I do.
Karan, what have you learned about Caleb since you've become his teammate?
He's a big presence in the locker room already. He's a good leader. He's a person that works hard. I can tell he's always, first one in the morning when I see here. He's always in here already. So, I think he's gonna be a great leader for us on this team.
What's this whole experience been like? I imagine it's kind of surreal just flying in here one day and then you're on the field the next day.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great opportunity. Just continue to learn and get better.
Were you surprised the Bears came back in to get you when they didn't have any more picks? I don't know how close you were tracking all of that.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised they didn't have a pick, but I'm super thankful for them giving me the opportunity to come play here. So
Before the pads come on, what are some of the things that you're trying to work on?
yeah, get off pad level and my hands. So I'm just trying to be the best defensive end I can be. So.
After you got drafted, you mentioned Max Crosby, who's coached by Travis. I understand you were able to connect with Max. How'd that come about, and what was the conversation like?
Yeah, so we trained in the offseason with the same guy, Devon Gopi, and he just connected us. And he called me after I got drafted, just letting me know that I can reach out whenever I have a question or any type of things like that, because he obviously has a great process how he does things because he's able to compete at a high level. So having that resource has just been great.
What do you want to take from him?
Everything I can, whether that's nutrition or just like his mobility routine, just stuff like that. If I can take whatever I can from him and all the other great players that come about, just add it to my game. So.
Are you able to take anything from your experiences last year, moving from Minnesota to Kansas? I know it's a different jump, obviously, to the NFL, but just that transition, sort of the unknown, that whole process, is that any of that help you in this situation now?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like I had great confidence coming into Kansas, and that helped me out a lot. But also, just being able to learn multiple playbooks also helped me out. So Yeah, definitely.
How does what you've been able to see so far, what the Bears want you to do, translate with, your experiences so far?
Can you repeat that?
Just I guess in terms of scheme, what you're used to doing, any techniques, things like that they're already teaching you. How is that mixed with what you already know?
Yeah. So I mean, back in high school, I was a 3-point, and I haven't been 3-point since then. Here and there, a little bit in college, but just getting back into that groove of things, and but at the same time, it's the same thing. You got to get off the ball. You got to use your hands, and you got to have great pad level. So, like you said, yeah, there are some things that relate, but also getting in that groove, getting 3-point again, has been a coaching point.
Is there anything in particular you like about having your hand in the dirt?
Yeah, the pad level is way easier when you're already down there, and you can get out way better. So yeah.
I know it's so early, but what kind of expectations have they laid down for you, or opportunity? Do you think there's going to be an opportunity for you to get on the field fast once this thing gets going for real?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take whatever opportunity that comes to me. Continue to get bigger, stronger, faster, and do whatever Coach Trav needs of me.
Eric Washington talked about the energy that you play with, where it's constantly going. Where does that come from?
I feel like it comes from just playing tackle football since kindergarten. My dad, he played D tackle as well, so I've just always had that motor, wanting to get to the ball, wanting to make hits, but also wanting to get to that quarterback. So I've just always had that about me, and I love the game. So just treating every down like it's my last.
What has stood out to you about this rookie camp?
That everyone here is really, really good. Obviously, no disrespect to guys in college or anything like that, but there's obviously elite players in college, and then guys that aren't so elite. But here, everyone's elite. You know what I mean? So I think that's probably really the one thing that stood out, and just how nice everyone is here. I was kind of obviously a little bit nervous coming in here, but everyone just made me feel really welcome. Really from the top, Ryan and Coach Hightower and all the players. Yeah, really can't complain at all. I'm just really happy to be a Bear. It's worked out perfectly.
Tori, you got the contract done today.
Yeah.
Any emotions that came with kind of having that moment checked off on your checklist?
Yeah, it was weird. I was texting my agent last night, and I got a text late last night saying, "Oh, you'll sign your deal tomorrow," and then I texted my parents this morning just saying, "Oh, hey, I'm signing my deal today." So that was pretty cool, but they were fast asleep, so they probably don't even know, because it would have been about 11 p.m. or midnight there. So yeah, it was pretty cool. I always, when that stuff kind of comes up, I really think about 5 years ago. If someone told me that I'd be standing at the podium in an NFL facility, I would have told them they're absolutely crazy. So yeah, a lot's kind of come about the last 3 or 4 years at IRA, and like I said, I'm really just grateful to be here. Really nice people in the building, and yeah, it's really just an honor. I mean, at the end of the day, it's the Chicago Bears. I was yesterday before my first ever punt period in the NFL. Coach Hightower came up to me. He's like, "Man, you're a Chicago Bear." I was kind of like, that really helped me settle the nerves a little bit. So yeah, like I said, I'm just really grateful to be here. Certainly come a long way in a few years.
You said your family is in Australia?
Yeah, they are.
So
Yeah.
when you're in Iowa, how much back and forth was there for you, or how much do you anticipate? What do you think your lifestyle will be like?
Yeah, so usually I would go home this time, because most colleges are off this time. Everyone finishes school early to mid-May, and then we get a month off. So a year ago I was home, but it's funny. My mum's always like, "When are you coming home next?" I said, "The longer I'm here, the better." So stop asking. So, but yeah, I usually try and get home once a year. I won't this year, obviously, because I'm here. But yeah, hopefully next year I'll get back. But they're going to come over during the season too, and they've always made the effort to come over during the season, which is, yeah, they're the ones I play for, so I'm really grateful for that too.
Rory, Coach Hightower said today was a day like you take out your wedges a little bit, work on some more directional punting. How do you think today went?
Yeah, I think it went well. I think it's one of those things that you always just, nothing's ever perfect, and I'm always coming off the field going, I think if you come off the field and say, "Oh yeah, today was perfect," then you probably shouldn't be here, if that makes sense. So, but yeah, it went really well for second practice, and still lots of things to work on. And I think one thing that kind of caught me a little bit by surprise is just how strong the wind is here. I guess that's why they call it the Windy City, but that's just stuff that I'm going to learn as we go. But plenty of things to be happy with, and plenty of things to learn from, and that for as long as I'm playing football, that's how it'll be, and that's how I want it to be too.
Tory, to Kevin's question, obviously when you have a strong leg, you can showcase that.
Yeah.
But obviously your touch and your ball placement is something that the Bears were really drawn to. When did you start making that a focus in your world, you know, when you're learning?
Oh, about 20 years ago, probably playing Australian rules football. So it's really been one of those things that I've always had that in the tool bag, but it really depends. You know, if you go play in a dome, for example, you don't have any conditions to worry about or anything like that. There's no wind, there's no rain. Whereas playing outside in the wind, it's kind of like, oh, if I really hammer this one, it's going to go in the end zone. Whereas I just try and like float him down there. Like I said, it's really just like a wedge shot. It's not like hitting like a 6 or a 7 iron. That's kind of the way that I look at it. But a lot of the time, that just comes back to practice, and that again, that stuff I've been doing for 20 years. But that's stuff that I'll be working on for the next 20 years, hopefully too.
Do you have
How's
any?
the first time that you picked up an American football and punted it, and how did it compare to an Australian rules football?
So Australian rules football is a lot bigger, so the sweet spot's a lot bigger. So it's obviously the American football is a lot harder to, I guess, consistently hit. But I started punting. It would have been about 5 years ago. Yeah, I joined Pro Kick Australia, and I think it was July 2019. So yeah, just under 5 years. So like I said at the start, a lot's happened since then. And yeah, 5 years ago when I picked up an American football for the first time.
Did it come like right to you? Did it come easily, or did it something?
No, not at all. I mean, hitting like an end over end drop punt, that's stuff that I've been doing for, yeah, like I said, for quite a while growing up. But trying to, I guess, learn how to perfect like that open field spiral punt certainly took a lot of time and a lot of reps. And my coaches back home, Nathan Chapman and John Smith from Pro Kick Australia, two of the best. I mean, the facts are there that they've had so many Aussie guys over here playing college football, and now a few of us in the NFL. So yeah, learning from those guys really helped.
Do you have any experience with kickoffs at all? That conversation came up with Coach Hightower earlier today. Just with the new NFL rules this year, it seems like, you know, direction and things like that could be that you could be able to help there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always, whatever I can do to help the team, I'm going to do it. And if that's something that Coach Hightower wants, absolutely, I want to be out there. I mean, I want to be out there for as many plays as I can, because I feel like there's really only a certain amount of positions in football where you can manipulate the game how you want to manipulate the game, and punting's one of them. Like, I'm fortunate enough to be one of the guys on the field that has the ball in his hands, and that means at that specific period of time you're in control of the game, and obviously I want to win, so I'm going to control the game how I want to. And if that includes being out on kickoff, then that would be great. And obviously the new rules are certainly going to keep a few special teams coaches up late at night, and it's kind of funny, you know, if I went out there, a lot of teams are going to be like, oh, what's he doing out there? Something's coming. So yeah, it'll be good fun for sure.
It seemed like everybody had an opinion on the Bears choosing a punter in the 4th round. Have you heard that talk, and what do you think when you hear that? Do you feel more pressure?
Nah, I mean, what's that saying? Like, pressure is a privilege, and I think it's really one of those things. A lot of that just comes down to a matter of opinion, and the people in this building, I'll listen to their opinion, but the opinions outside the building, there's really not much I can do. I really only just worry about what I can control, and really I'm just trying to get better as a punter. I don't really worry about any of the external stuff, but I just hope Chicago Bears fans are excited, because I love punting the ball and I love winning games, and that's all that matters to me.
What's the most challenging part about the holding part of your job?
Probably later in the year when the conditions start to turn. I mean, we're doing some wet ball drills out there today, and it's certainly a lot more difficult when the ball's soaked, and it's certainly a lot more slippery. But I take holding just as serious as I take punting, because, you know, punting most of the time doesn't necessarily result in points, but field goals do, and field goals can be a matter of winning or losing a game, and I really enjoy being a part of that too, and looking forward to meeting Pat and Cara in the next few days.
Both you and Richard have mentioned Mitch Wisnowski. Have you reached out to him? Has he given you any advice on just life in the NFL and how this is all going to go?
Yeah, a little bit. So I've had a few guys kind of reach out to me, and first and foremost, Mitch just said, yeah, Hightower's the man. So, and I kind of knew that when I met Coach Hightower at the Combine. Just a really nice, first and foremost, like one of the best special teams coaches in the league. He's been doing it for a while now, but just a really nice guy. And I really appreciate guys' honesty and he's a really straight shooter, honest. And he expects a lot from everyone, and I really like that too. Really nice guy.
What are the things that he specifically wants you to work on when you talk about that honesty between the two of you?
Oh, first and foremost, it's just kind of getting used to, I guess, the NFL life and how they do things here. And he just said, make sure you look after your body. But what I really appreciate about Coach Hightower, and with no disrespect to any other coaches, a lot of coaches are really different in how they do things. They really try to control players. It's like, you have to do this, or we'll get someone else that can do it. And there's a bit of that in the NFL for sure. But what I love most about Coach Hightower is like, well, what's your best ball? And we'll go with that. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's all about guys going out there and maximising their potential on the field. And I think that's what I love most about Coach Hightower is he wants guys to succeed, which is really the most important part of the NFL is doing your job. And when you've got someone that is really going to back you in like that, it really helps.
What's the extent of your experience with fake punts during your time at college?
So I did throw a pass in 2021 to Sam Laporta. Yeah, so that's probably why I went second round, because of that one pass. But no, that's it really. So he completed the pass, but we didn't get the first down.
The Bears haven't tried one since 2020. Now that you have a contract, you have some influence in helping to shift that.
I'll leave that up to Coach Hightower. Like I said, whatever he wants me to do, I'll do. But yeah, not too worried about any fakes right now.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.